Hello everybody, welcome back to Thoughts on the Roundtable. I'm Pierce.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are going over the fourth and final episode of the Bad Batch arc of the Clone Wars.
What do you want me to say?
The title.
I don't remember what it's called. Unfinished business.
Boom! That didn't take very long. You guys don't know what happened there.
Yeah, we just spent, probably 5 minutes? No. Like a minute.
It's like a good minute and a half
trying to figure
find
out
the name after I pointed at Jacob.
Yeah, so
we'll just start it. Let's
pretend
jump right
it didn't
into
happen, and we'll jump right in.
Please join us at the roundtable.
So, of course, you've been watching this series, and you've been watching Clone Wars if you're listening to this. So, obviously, we pick up right after episode 3, and we have the boys all going on some mission to stop the Separatist fleet.
Yeah, well, basically the Echo wants to go up to the command ship and send a weird old signal, and then shut down all the battle droids on Anaxis, winning the day. Hooray, good job, Echo.
And they blow up the fleet.
Wrecker does it. Can all of you watching give a collective sigh for Wrecker's involvement in this arc?
You know what, I'm just going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a top. I'm just going to come out. I might be blinded by hype still. So, come back to me in about a year and tell me what I think. This arc's a top 5 arc, if not for Wrecker.
I agree. 100% agree. But it might be in my bottom arcs.
I don't know. I don't know if I can put it at my bottom.
I'm not at my lowest of the low, but definitely not at the highest of the high. Lower than the mid-tier arcs.
Yeah, I would say a low to mid-tier is the Ahsoka arc where she takes the kids to get their lightsabers.
Yeah.
This one's about 4 or 5 spots above that.
I would say that it's a couple below.
You think it's worse?
I think it's worse.
Man, this arc is not. It was ruined.
By Wrecker.
Yeah.
I think that Wrecker's comments in these episodes, especially prevalent in this episode, have made it just so much worse than it could have been. And I think the Ahsoka arc where she took the kids with her lightsabers, at least it wasn't cringy.
True.
Was it boring? Yes. Did it feel like a one-off thing because they couldn't stretch the series out with the main plot that long? Yeah. But at least it wasn't cringy. At least I didn't watch it and was like, ugh. Physically, yikes.
Yeah, so I think it's really saying something when they screw up so bad on a character. This is the best episode, I think, of this arc. The last one. And yet, Wrecker is the most annoying to me in this arc. In this episode.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it's not like he does a lot, you know? It's just those one-liners that are supposed to be funny, but they're not. I get the joke we're going for. He's big and he's stupid. We've seen it so many times.
It's just so frustrating.
And how is he the only character of the Bad Batch who doesn't have any character development? All the others I feel like develop a little bit, you know? They're kind of got this hard exterior.
Yeah.
And they're battle worn. But then in the end of the day, they love fighting the war for what they apparently think is right. You know, we don't really know. They just kind of say they like doing it. And they do care about the people they fight with.
Yeah.
You know, they cared about Rex and Cody. Well, they cared about Rex at the end.
Cody at the beginning
because they knew him. And then they, grow to care about Echo.
Even, offering Echo a spot on the team.
Yeah,
which is genuinely, such a good moment.
Yeah, I think they offer a lot to the series, especially with the character development. And then they have Wrecker, and they're like, oh, you like character development? Well, I'm just going to piss away what you like with Wrecker.
Yeah.
He ruins the show.
I mean, I agree. He definitely ruins this arc. This arc's bottom tier for me because of Wrecker. Because this is one of the few Clone Wars arcs that make me physically cringe watching. Even seasons 1 and 2, in all of their mediocrity, rarely have episodes that make me cringe like I cringe with this. like maybe some of the Jar Jar episodes. But that's Jar Jar. It's almost like it's forgivable because it's the stupid Gungan. Like,
Yeah.
this is a man that I am supposed to love. He's a clone. I love clones, and yet I still hate him. I can't stand him. There's no redeeming qualities. It's not even because he's like a jerk or something. While like I don't like this character, I just think he's stupid and he cringy, and it makes me so angry. Especially since this episode was so good. Other than that,
Yeah.
we had some great moments that we're gonna have to get into.
Yeah.
I think we need to leave the Wrecker train behind.
I want one last jab on the
Okay.
Wrecker. This episode feels like a good arc of Rebels. These episodes.
Wow. Yeah.
They've
Harsh,
got
but,
the
like,
annoying
yeah.
character. It still feels kind of like a kid show, but just a little bit, because all the good episodes of Rebels had a little bit of maturity, and I feel like this has a little bit of maturity, but it can't get away from being a kid show.
True.
So let's quit complaining. We've done it for about 6 minutes now. If I'm wrong on the cameras, because we edited a bunch of stuff out, so I'm sorry. But I think, let's move on to what was good about this episode.
Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
Fantastic. I loved when they dropped down. Beautiful shot. I loved Mace Windu's sarcastic, jab to, I've dismantled how many of you. You can lay down your weapons and be reprogrammed. That's Mace Windu. That is such his character.
Yeah, and I think this show also, I kind of mentioned it to Pierce when we were watching it, how great this show links the gap between 2 and 3. We talked about it a lot in our Clone Wars recap, but we're really starting to see the link between now and Episode 3. Mace and Obi-Wan are in their Episode 3 outfits. They're really acting like they are in Episode 3, and man, does it feel good.
It feels so good. I don't know. Everyone except for Wrecker is at their best in these arcs. Rex is at his best. Anakin's at his best. Anakin's getting dark. The scene where he goes in and, spoiler alert, stabs Trench and says he doesn't have those kind of weaknesses that a normal Jedi had. Whew! Fantastic.
I've always loved the dark part of Anakin. They did, in my opinion, a great job throughout the show, showing how he's this character clouded by darkness. And now they're like, listen, we got to make it even more apparent. Because that was one of the flaws in 2 and 3, the movies.
Yeah.
Is that Anakin was a good guy, now he's not a good guy. And Clone Wars is really completing the perfection of this show from light to dark.
Yeah.
And this episode does it almost as good as any other episode has. Because, he's holding the lightsaber up, and he's like, I don't have, like you said, I don't have those weaknesses, and we can see one side of his face still is light, but one side is dark. And
great.
Wow.
Parallels back to Luke in episode 6 when he is fighting Darth Vader. And I mean, if that was the most obvious bit of light and dark, with one part of his face light, one part dark. He's got the white at the end ripping out of his dark clothing.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. This is what I like about Clone Wars. It's the subtle little details.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice this if you weren't really paying attention.
Yeah.
And man, do they do it so well.
They do it so well, so subtle.
Yeah, and that, I know, I think your favorite scene is the battle scene where Mace and Obi-Wan drop down.
No.
Mine's the Anakin scene.
It's the Anakin
It's gotta
scene.
be.
It's the best one in there. I think what's the word I'm looking for? It is so perfectly Anakin.
Yeah. They nail the still a little bit of immaturity at the end where he's telling Wrecker to blow stuff up, and he's like, Wrecker's going to be excited about this. He's still kind of kid at heart. But they also show the darkness.
And it's showing how he's growing to more and more distrust the ways of the Jedi. And I think that that's good, because a big part of Anakin's whole character is not agreeing with how the Jedi run the war.
Yeah.
And we see that in episode 3, but we never really see it, because we only see literally a couple battles, and I don't even think we see Anakin fighting for the Jedi, besides in the very first when they go to rescue Palpatine. I think that's the only time on-screen movie Anakin fights for the Republic.
Yeah.
And we show that he is like starting to like disagree with how the Jedi run a war, because they're not warriors, they're not generals.
No.
And I'm starting to like it. It, like I said, we've said so many times, Clone Wars is the perfect bridge.
It is.
That's why this arc is worth watching. You take out the cringy parts, but even so, just that bit with Anakin makes this whole entire arc worthwhile.
Yeah, and I think the ending does as well. If
Yeah.
it didn't have a fitting ending like it did, I would have been like, you know what, this arc kind of bad.
Yeah.
Because the ending where Echo joins the Bad Batch as one of their own, it's just so fitting. And we see Rex walking away. And he's like, listen, I understand. You're one of my men. You pretty much always will be. But if you found your new home, I get it. And he's walking away. And he turns around. And there's the Bad Batch with their newest member saluting. Man, does that feel good? It feels whole. Like, this makes sense for this to happen.
Yeah. It really does. It feels like the perfect culmination of Echo's character.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so what's the word that I'm looking for? It's so cyclical, almost. When we first see Echo and Domino Squad, who is the mentor that turns them around? 99. And then we see...
Gosh, I'm going to start crying thinking about 99.
And then we see Echo using 99 as advice. You know, they all did. All of Domino Squad. Echo, the last surviving member of that, now joining in the squad that memorializes him. That's beautiful. That's an awesome ending. That's a perfect ending for Echo as a character.
And I think, like we said, perfect ending for this arc.
Yeah.
And really, all we can do about this episode and this arc in general, if you've listened to our podcast about it, just watch it. If you haven't watched it, I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, watch it. It's good enough for you to take the time, take the hour and a half it takes to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, we have our flaws with it, mainly Wrecker.
Only Wrecker.
That's
really
my big problem.
It's just Wrecker.
But really, I mean, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. And with that, we'll wrap up the first arc of Clone Wars and Clone Wars Quickie.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about you, Jacob, but I am much, much more excited for this next arc.
As am I.
And I think we've got a lot more to say.
Yeah.
Because it's Ahsoka, baby. She's back. I love her. I love her so much.
She's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, and I've read the Ahsoka book. Pierce will soon finish it.
I'm like halfway through.
Yeah. So then, man, Ahsoka, really, for someone who's not in the Star Wars movies, if you watch everything she's in, she has such a good character development circle, whatever you want to call it. It is flawless.
It is so good. That being said, I don't want to get into it now.
No, neither do I.
Because we have a lot of time to get into Ahsoka's character, and I think we're going to have a lot to say. So please join us next week for the next installment of Clone Wars Quickie.
Yeah.
Possibly one with a little less gripes, I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I think it will be. It's Maul and Ahsoka.
Yeah, so it's got to be good. It's got to be good.
How bad can it be?
All right, so with that, we'll give our little sign off. Go ahead and check out our Twitter, of course, at roundtable_pod.
Go ahead and also check out all our other things, all our other platforms. We're on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars would be nice. If you're going to give less than 5 stars, don't give a rating. Just that would be kind of mean.
You like our podcast. If you care enough to give us a rating, you'll leave us 5 stars.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, we have stickers. If you can see from my laptop, you should be able to. I hope it's focused. Pierce has his water bottle. So we got stickers. If you guys like them, let us know, and we'll try to figure out a way if you want to buy them. But if you don't like them, too bad, because they're not yours.
They're mine.
Yeah, well, they're mine too.
Well, also a couple other people. We got a couple of people who want stickers.
Yeah, so...
But they're very cool. They turned out, like, phenomenally.
Yeah, they're perfect.
So, we know that we're not, like, a big enough channel to really sell merch effectively.
No.
But if you guys are interested in getting yourself a Round Table sticker, let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can work something out.
Yeah, because I think they're really cool. And who wouldn't want one on their unbranded laptop like mine?
Exactly.
Or a water bottle.
Or a water bottle with your thoughts on the round table computer.
I mean, they're perfect.
They're perfect. They're a circle. Best shape for a sticker.
That's what I've heard. All right.
All right.
Now we're just rambling. So with that, thank you guys, of course, for listening.
Goodbye.
See you later.